Hello, this is Andrew Wicks at MediaPreview.net. This tutorial is about using the Media Preview 8mm Distress Kit. Now, if you haven't seen the Distress Kit in action, there's a link below to the demo. But essentially what it is a collection of 28 clips that are taken from Super 8 and Standard 8 Cine film, and you use these to overlay on your sequences and transitions to give your film a sort of touch of old school sizzle, a bit of an unusual lift. If you've seen the title sequence of the program Californication, then that's the general direction that we're heading in. So the Distress Kit comes as 2 movies with 14 clips on each movie, and they're called Strip 1 and Strip 2, and here they are in the browser of Final Cut Pro. And if we look at the properties, we can see that they are at full-size HD 1920 by 1080. You'll also notice that the black borders here, this is because the clips themselves are scanned from 8mm film, and the 8mm film is more of a square format, kind of 4:3 or 5:4 aspect ratio. We decided to present the kit in this format to give the user as much choice as possible in scaling the clips up to suit various needs. So I'm going to just take you through a few examples, and hopefully you'll see what I mean. So if we'll look first of all at an SD sequence. So if I bring up the settings for this, you can see that it's a PAL sequence, 720x7.6 widescreen. And let's just find a clip to put over the top. I'll go with some of this dust and scratches here, put an in point and an out point, and drag it down. So what we're going to need to do is to scale up the Distress Kit clip. So I'll just do that until we fill the frame. And if we look at the motion tab here for the clip, you can see that we've scaled it up to about 75%, so there's still quite a lot to play with around the outside. So the next thing to do would be to change the composite mode, and you can't see this bit, but I'm changing it to multiply, which takes out the white, and then I'll just render that up and play that, and you can see that the Distress Kit there is doing its job. So let's have a look now at an HD sequence. Just a word on these clips. They're from a local band called Hot Against the Cold. They're shot in HD. Very often it works well to put a frame around your footage. So I'll just bring up the strip 1. Here we go. I'm going to make a still of this, so I'll go Shift N and then drag that down, and we'll put that over the first clip like this. I'll just increase the size a little bit, and I'll hold down the Shift key to change the aspect ratio to make it a little bit wider. The next thing to do is to take out the white, so we'll go on here and we'll go composite mode, multiply. Again, sorry you can't see that bit. And now we'll just put that dust and scratches clip over the top. So we'll pull that down. So look at that. So you can see that at the current size of 100% is not quite filling the frame. So we're just going to have to scale up slightly. So let's say at 116, we can see the kind of unsmooth edge of the frame there. So what we need to do now is to go to change that to multiply again to take out the white, and just render that up. And yeah, that's looking good. You can see that the Distress Kit is looking pretty good there. So let's put something over on this clip here. We'll go back to our kit. Let's go for something a little bit heavier. Let's try this one. Put an in point there. Okay, and we'll take that down. So this time we're not using the frame, so we're going to have to increase the size a bit more. But that's okay. It's a very good scan, this, so the quality is good, and given that these things happen so quickly and there's sort of flashes and things like that, you can get away with scaling up to, what have I done there, 130 or so, and it's still going to look okay. I think with this clip, because the shot underneath it is quite dark, I think it'd be a good idea to reverse out the distress. So we'll come onto here and first of all put an invert filter on. So I'm going up to help, I'm typing in invert. Again, sorry you can't see this bit, and it's taking me to channel invert. I come down there and then hit return, and so now we've kind of reversed that out. And so what we need to do now is to change the composite mode, and this time we're trying to take out the black, so we'll use screen. And that's okay, that's looking quite good. The trouble is it's still looking a bit kind of milky here, so we need to drop out some of this white. So we'll go onto here and we'll go with our colour correction filter, colour corrector 3-way, and just bring that up, and hopefully if we just drop out some of the black, we've still left with the scratches, but we haven't got this sort of so much of this milkiness. So let's just have a look at that now. That's pretty good. In actual fact, I think we can probably still take that down a wee bit more on the colour corrector side. Let's just find a bit where it's there, for example. Just take out some more of that black. And that's looking nice. Okay, so let's do a similar thing here. We'll find a clip. Let's go for some of this one, a bit more grungy. Put an in point and an out point, and drag that down. We'll just increase the scale a bit here, and make that composite mode multiply. Now you can see the scratches in there. And then let's also, whilst we're at it, we'll put something over the transition here. So again, we'll go back, we'll find these flashes of colour look quite nice, but let's just try something. Let's find something in here. Just step through it frame by frame. We'll use that pink splodge. So I'll put an in point there and come out there. And drag that down. Well, first of all we'll scale it up, and we'll just change the transfer mode here to add and see what that does. Looks as if it could be quite interesting. That's looking nice. You can see when you go back to something that hasn't got the distress kit on, how the difference there. Okay, let's just do that last one. Let's have a look. We'll go for one with a bit more sort of grainy texture to it. So we'll choose this one here, put an in point and an out point, took that over like so. Again, we need to just scale this one up. This grainy one works quite well with the overlay mode, so I'm just going to choose that. Okay, so let's put an effect over the cut here. Use this one. Drag that down. It's quite long, so I'll just trim it up a bit. And so scale it up. Change the transfer mode to add. And I think that this clip here could probably benefit with a vignette, so I'll just quickly do that. The way I'm going to do that is to use the matte generator, colour, change the colour to white, pull that down, and now I'm going to go to the help and type in vignette. And that comes under stylize, so I'll go down there, hit return, and that's put the vignette onto the matte. We'll just have a look at that. And darken it up a little bit, and then change the composite mode here to multiply to take out the white, and that looks pretty good. The advantage actually of doing the vignette this way is then you've got a bit more control over the look of it. Okay, we'll render that. It's looking pretty good, I think. So hopefully you'll agree that very quickly we've added quite a cool new look to this footage, which would have taken ages to do, you know, if we'd have been trying to build the effects from scratch. Probably what you'll find is that once you get the sort of basics of which composite modes work best, then you'll spend hours kind of playing with the effects. I'm just going to bring in a couple of other clips here and just show you a couple of quick examples. Very often you don't need to actually have the distress clip moving, and in this case what I've done is I've taken a still from one of the clips and just put that over the shot with a bit of colour correction, and you can see that that kind of like adds a kind of, if I take the effect off, in fact you'll see that adds a little bit of kind of subtle grain that works quite well. And generally you can keep messing with these clips, you know, you can rotate them and flip them and change the hue and the saturation of them, and also use a couple of clips together. So for example here, you can see I've taken a portion of this clip on the end of strip 1 on the side, and then if I go over to here, I've taken a portion of one of the dots clips from strip 2. So, hours of fun to be had playing with the 8mm Distress Kit. Well, thank you very much for listening. I'm Andy Wicks, and I'll see you next time.